Gantši ke fihla go chile with Cutjolicious ke tla ke nabile beletsa ke re moa ka lekomana ga bagetse go bane re fitlhile show ya rena ke ya lekono. Very important, very special, very unique business edition of Chile with Cutjolicious, right here live in this Chisanyam Midrand. Hey, bafethu ke tla ke dila le mal ke ne ke sena le problem ana go le yo you can feel it here, yeah. From the Cutjolicious, some months ago, I was going to sell a property, got in some of stones, some of booklets, some of the people that the camera my tag, Lalating my plate, one Nagam Patel, oh, you hold one to the other one. Is that I medical Mawayo and I did you fast in the airport? Then walk out Comanagamate. Where's the fun of power? Had to tell we had deep pioneer, Chile with Cutjolicious right here. Kinale, the one and only model. But Nala Tomek Tomo on our battle with it. Kemonukwa, home South Africa. Carrier, which is one day, the Tonya got Marwan. Severe, now confident. Let's your guy. Refilwe Mogale. In the party. I just like a sunny level. Welcome to Chile with Cutjolicious, Mr. Miss Mohart.
Thank you. I understand. You are forgiven.
I'm forgiven. Thank you. Remember it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I am excited.
Wow.
Yeah. That's no idea.
Yeah.
The day I got the invite, I was like, you know what? I can't wait. Make it count I'm going. Lot of everything got a different. I can't move.
Yeah. We've been chilling with a lot of people, reputable ones, especially in business. We have so many segments in our podcast.
Yeah.
So this is one of the special podcasts that I do respect with all my powers.
Yeah.
When you see me waving a shirt, you know that I'm doing it very serious. That's why we're here, special chilling with Cutjolicious. Special business edition. Mama Gale. Who's Mama Gale? Who's the Refilwe?
Oh, it will take the whole day for you to tell you.
No, it's sorry. Don't be especially when you go to interview. Question number one.
Question number. That's where we always start.
Oh.
But briefly, so Refilwe Mogale was born Refilwe Mogale. My boy. Yes, that's my maiden name.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Refilwe is a woman who is very passionate about women empowerment. She is a social activist, specifically when it comes to women issues, women empowerment, gender-based violence and femicide, gender equality, all those kinds. I'm a businesswoman. One of my businesses, so my biggest business at this stage being a national turning international empowerment pageant titled Miss Bachelorette South Africa.
Wow.
Turning Miss Bachelorette global very soon. And I'm sure you can already tell that this is going towards the direction of women empowerment. I have reached like in my which like I said, my passion is about women empowerment. So I'm self-employed at the moment, taking the journey in the reverse. I've worked in this, for different companies, for different organizations. Did my normal 8 to 5.
Yes.
I was born and bred in the Obo, Kimpondo province, in a small township place, suddenly 20 km to the side. Yeah, Masala. It's 30 km just outside Polokwane City for those who don't know. And I grew up just like any other child who was blessed enough and lucky enough to have a family that backs you up. I went to school, I matriculated, I managed to further my studies thanks to my family. Went to a tertiary institution, acquired qualification. I'm holding a BCom in Management Sciences degree. And that's me. I love being physically active. I love exercising. I'm a model, so I think that something that goes without saying. And I just believe in doing the best in everything I do.
You said a mouthful, like growing up as you are. Did you see yourself where you are now as a business woman, as a beauty and fashion mentor, as a business lead in general? You know, did you see yourself like that, especially when you grow up?
Yeah, without a doubt. Right?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Do you know? I always say I am blessed because, you know, some of the things when you become more mature, you understand, you can separate wrong from right, you understand life better, everything is but making choices. But then when you find yourself behaving in a certain way or doing certain things at so much of a young age that you still don't actually understand what life is about, then you know that you had an inward passion. I am, and believe me, some of the memories, some of the things happened when I was still so young that I don't even have clear memories of. My family, my sisters would just tell me, what do you know? We have no one to get. You know, we're not here for a while. You would insist on dressing up in a certain way.
Wow.
You know, at such an any age, at an ages, any as like your 4-year-old, 5-year-old. I was a young girl, but they are almost insensitive about the way I look.
This is where beauty,
exactly, this is where fashion and beauty comes in. I have always been, you know, I went to a typical relationship there, but believe me, at that very young age, I would insist on my sisters for them to speak to me in English, because I said to them, I want to learn.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, at the age of 6, you don't even understand what or the way to exactly, you know, school of high, like Solomon is just a typical semi-rural, you know, place, just like any other village or township that you can fit them.
Yeah.
So I've always been a very independent child. And I think I take after by that because my mom is a very independent girl. Brought her family up through hardships and challenges and everything, but she never gave up. And she never wanted to take hand down. She always believed in working hard, you know, for everything that she wanted to earn, you know, her to make sure that works. So that's why I'm saying definitely. I've been seeing myself as someone who is independent, and obviously being self-employed comes with that level of independence. To say, I want to do it myself. I want to become an employer instead of being an employee. I was an employee at some stage. Obviously, you need to start somewhere. You need to learn. You need to gain experience and all. But my ultimate goal has always been.
Yeah. And today you are a beauty and fashion mentor to other women, especially young and old, you know, in this country.
Yeah.
How did you find it is mentorship and without those kind of killing?
Probably because it's a passion. You know, challenges, maybe, the good thing of it. Yeah, well, there are challenges everywhere. But then, the one thing I want to highlight to you right then, when you are passionate about something, you do it with me. Even when you have difficulties and challenges and all those kind of things, yes, there are challenges, but you always think, you know what, that they welcome. Let them come. This is what is going to make my dream and my goal and my journey even stronger.
Yes, as you already mentioned about your dream, I just want to know about biggest dream, especially in fashion and beauty. What is your biggest thing in fashion with beauty and fashion?
Yeah.
With the same time.
Okay. So, at the moment, like I mentioned earlier, I am running a national turning international empowerment pageant titled Miss Bachelorette South Africa, Turning Miss Bachelorette Real Life. This is a project that I initiated out of my passion for the beauty industry and my passion for women empowerment. I am one woman who grew up participating in all sorts of pageants you can think of. You know, any modeling opportunity that came my way, I made sure that I grabbed it with both hands. And then it has always been my dream to say, you know what, I want to talk about either or maybe even both. You know, I've always thought to myself, I want to win. I want to be a title holder of a national or an international patent. However, should that not happen, I want to make sure that I could dream a queen at an international or at a national area. But at the time, little did I know, because at the time, my dream was, it was even before I established a modeling academy, because I used to run a modeling academy before I established.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. So at the time, my mindset was, or my focus was rather saying to me, through my modeling academy, I am going to mentor women who are interested in the modeling industry so that they take, make them winner. Yes, definitely, for them to become the best that they can be. I was like, what? I want one of my leaders, one of my mentees to eventually become a Miss so-and-so at a national or at an international level. Little did I know that one had bigger plans, because then halfway through the journey, this idea popped in my head. But you know what? Why don't you identify, why don't you initiate your phone pageant? Your phone national, if not.
Still gonna come there, still gonna talk about that and can Miss Bachelorette.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. When I just pull apart in this feature. What is about it? Let's say, for example, why Miss Bachelorette and why is Miss Bachelorette? Because it's according to me, it's a certain time in knowledge to someone from the rural who doesn't understand me. And today, just because you are here as a founder, we want to know more about it. What is Miss Bachelorette and why Miss Bachelorette?
Okay. So, firstly, the term Bachelorette, simply with Mofadi or an intellectual age assigned.
Like that task.
Right?
I'm going.
An unmarried, mature woman, mature in morals and what? A mature.
Ladies and gents, we are still chilling here. Chill with Cutjolicious. Hello from Mbizo Chifanyama, Midrand. As I told you, I'm with the one and the only beautiful jet. Do you hear this thing? I'm thanking you just because I need not just beautiful, gorgeous with praise. The one and the only Refilwe Mogale, the founder of Miss Bachelorette, live here on Chilling with Cutjolicious. Miss Mogale, welcome to Chilling with Cutjolicious.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I am good. I am excited. I've been looking forward to this day. Ever since you invited me, I was like, you know what?
Wow.
Counting down. When is that day coming?
You're humble. I'm humble. And you look gorgeous. You're glowing. Everything is on point.
Thank you so much. I did all of this just for this.
Wow. Just for this.
Just for Cutjolicious.
We actually know. That's like, this is what I want. And I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you for all your efforts, your time, and everything. And to be here, we are very much honored. Yes. Who's Refilwe Mogale?
Okay. So, Refilwe Mogale is Refilwe Mogale first. He was born Refilwe Habor. Habor is my maiden name. Okay. So Refilwe Mogale is a woman who is very passionate about women empowerment. She's an activist.
Yeah.
A social activist.
Social activist.
When it comes to, women issues, women empowerment, gender-based violence and femicide, gender equality, all of that. I am one woman who has always been passionate about, women issues, always passionate about the modeling industry and the pageantry industry. I am currently a full-time self-employed businesswoman. And if I am to take you through my journey in reverse, I did my fair share of 8 to 5. I work for different companies that have been well-known brands. And I was born and bred in Limpopo province in a small township called
Solomon Day. Masala.
Yeah, no, Baba Itala, but you don't have a land.
I'll find yourself.
I did think it was like a little one.
What about that?
This is she. I know. So this in Jerry, I write and mama, and that's about it. But anyway, so that's where I was born and bred.
Yeah.
Just like any other child, we was lucky and blessed enough to have a family that makes you up. I had a family that backed me up, took me to school. I matriculated. I managed to further my studies at a tertiary institution. I held a BCom in management sciences degree. And generally, I'm a woman who loves life, who strives to be good, because I love seeing smiles on people's faces. And other than that, me being a model, typical model, I love exercising a lot.
You can that the body says it all, or there's no need to ask.
Yeah, so that's the long and short of who I am. So
Growing up from the villages until where you are today, when you grow up, you maybe one day, I want to be this Refilwe Mogale. I want to be a woman that I am today as a businessman, as a business lady, a fissionist, a model advisor, a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you have plenty in your plate. Do you saw yourself as that woman?
I did. And it's very, it's funny and strange when I come to think of the fact that, some of the things that I did when I was still young, I was still so young that even I myself don't necessarily have clear memories of it. A lot of it are narrated to me by my friend. They would tell me that at early an age, as like you're 4 to 5 years old, I would be sensitive about the way I look.
Wow.
I would be, I would always want to pick and put together my own outfit. I get this skin, I got this. No, this doesn't match with this. This matches with that,
Now little girl. Those things.
No, exactly. And I am one person who has always wanted to be independent, I always wanted to do my own thing. Even at school, I was, the one kid who would go to my female educators and say to them, can you initiate any so-and-so primary school pages, It comes a long way.
Yeah.
It comes a long way. It's an inborn passion. And, when it comes to being an initiator and also being independent, I think I took after my mother because, my mother is one person who had it hard bringing us up because we are a big family. I'm the last of 6 sisters.
Last born, Mama's Day.
I'm Mama's Day. So she has 6 daughters. My dad unfortunately passed on when I, the last born, was still very young, around the age of 6 or so.
Okay.
And he was the main breadwinner. My mom has always, also been working, being a helper,
Hands-on.
everything, being hands-on. But then the main breadwinner at the time was my dad. So when my dad passed on, she had to, double up on her efforts. And she never accepted handouts. She's always worked hard to make sure that none of her kids ever go to bed hungry. So I think I took after her, in terms of being an independent person, a person who thinks not even the sky is the limit. I'm gonna, I made the best out of everything.
She raised the queen.
She raised the queen. She definitely is.
So today, as we speak, you are the founder of Miss Bachelorette South Africa.
Correct.
Not just Miss Bachelorette, South Africa.
Correct.
And I witnessed. I was there when you were awarding the Miss Bachelorette. It was fourth annual.
Fourth annual.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that you don't see that Miss Bachelorette being remain Miss Bachelorette South Africa, but Miss Bachelorette globally.
Yeah.
Why did you form that, and what forced you or encouraged you to become with that beautiful brand called Miss Bachelorette?
So it's my passion for the modeling industry, an inborn passion. And then again, my passion for women empowerment. I always say, you know, when you are at a very young age, sometimes you do things and you don't even know yourself why you are doing certain things or why you're behaving in a certain way. So I just found myself being passionate about the modeling industry, and I grew up like that. But then as I grew up, I realized that, you know what, this tallies excellently well with my passion for women and how, you know, because when you grow up, when you become an adult, then you start having a better understanding of what life is and what life is about. You can separate the wrong from the right and everything. And that's why I realized that, you know what, whenever I see a woman who stands for herself and is independent, I become humbled and I become excited. And whenever I see a woman who holds herself back and wants to be dependent, especially on a man, whenever I hear some people saying to young girls, well, you must grow up and get married, you know, you must find a man who can recover you. That I know. And that is the one thing that, in all honesty, doesn't sit well with me and never sit well with me. So being passionate about the modeling industry, I always wanted to find a way of, you know, using that industry to fulfill or to making a difference in terms of women empowerment. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe let me establish my own pageant. But then I was sensitive about it because I thought, at the time, all the meaningful titles in the pageantry industry are already taken. You know, you already have your Miss South Africas and the likes that have been running for quite some time.
Talking about Miss South Africa.
Yeah.
I want so you're on one of the nominees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I talk to that. You can continue about.
Yeah. So, although things have slightly changed at this stage, there was a time when a lot of pageants would only accept women up to a certain age. So their age restriction was quite tight. Other parts of the criteria was quite tight as well. They did not accept the women that had children and, you know, those kind of things. They sensitive about the body structure, the body size, and all of that. Then I thought to myself, you know what? Why don't I come up with something that will be different, something that will empower women holistically, and most importantly, something that will directly link and fight against gender-based violence and fratricide. Because like I said earlier, unfortunately, we find ourselves in a society, we live in a society where marriage is still seen as some kind of a validation for women, you know. And like I said, you know, you find people saying to young girls, no, grow up, and you know, instead of, exactly, if you said this, if you said that, you know, it's like, you must take care of yourself so you can qualify to become someone's wife. Instead of so you can be independent, you can be holistic, and you can make the best out of who you can become. So I thought to myself, a bachelorette is a simple term that means a woman who is mature in terms of age, but she is not married, right? So that's how I came up with the title. And my focus was on women between the ages of 25 and 50. Because if you think of it, that's the age group that sort of has to deal with the societal pressures of age. You know, the clock is ticking. Honey, what am I name? You know, when are we seeing the boyfriend? When are you getting married? And the Kadadia Ushiya, you know, those kind of things.
Question, yeah, every parent.
Exactly.
The table from all those. Tito, when are you getting married?
Getting married. Oh, so you guys also get that pressure.
Yes. Nobody barati.
Yeah.
What that is? Yes, yeah.
Exactly. So that is my target market, and I targeted those women because I wanted to empower them. I wanted them to realize that it is important for them to focus on themselves, to make sure that they realize their teams, to make sure that they realize that a woman's purpose is not just to become someone's wife. A woman's purpose is not just to become a mother. A woman is powerful, a woman has got strength, a woman has got, even the sky is not the limit, you know what I mean? So that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I wanted to also create role models out of women who are, you know, that group of women that I've already explained, for younger girls, so that young girls can be able to see that, you know what, no man, I shouldn't, life is not just about marriage, you know? Or I shouldn't find myself in under pressure in an abusive relationship or in an abusive marriage just because I want to be Mrs. So-and-so. So out of these women that participate, you put them out going, give them the limelight, you give them the platform. As much as they become empowered themselves, they also are empowering a young girl out there, because the girl looks at them and sees a woman who is powerful, a woman who is independent, a woman who's got the freedom of saying no to anything that she's not comfortable with. And a woman who's got the freedom to do whatever it is that she wants to do with her life, because she doesn't have to go and seek approval from a man, all because she is dependent on a man on everything that she needs to be behind.
You're right. You already unpacked everything about Miss Bachelorette. So, from the onset, when you started this initiative, it's a very beautiful initiative, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
How was the challenge? It was like a walk in the park, or it was something that gives you a sleepless night, and so forth and so forth. What was the challenges or the one that you achieved from that?
Do you know what?
Onset.
Yeah. Do you know what? Challenges are still there today.
Even today.
And yeah, definitely.
When did you start it?
And challenges, I started in 2019. And
today is 2024, and you are still experiencing challenges.
Exactly.
I want that challenge.
Without a doubt.
Tell us about that challenges. I want that.
So firstly, when I established this, the number one challenge that I knew that I expected was funding. Because we know that you need funding, you need capital to be able to establish any kind of project or any kind of business. And it is unfortunate, and it pains me to have to mention this, but it's a fact that we live in a country that would even put it down in black and white to say they do not fund pageants.
They do not fund. We are talking about our South African
government, yes. There is no
Department of Sport or Department of Arts and Culture.
There is no government funding board. Your National Arts Council, they don't even have a criteria that includes pageants.
Why?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I am yet to get a straight answer, because I've been asking, but nobody really wants to straight answer.
One of the activities that, for example, we have so many beautiful people, beautiful women that are keeping themselves busy. Some are making a living out of this pageant.
Definitely.
Just like other sports.
Exactly.
So why not? They will give you a difficult time when it comes to it.
And more than anything, it breaks my heart, because for me, this is one industry that empowers women than the news. Firstly. Secondly, this is the one industry that prioritizes philanthropy. Because with pageantry, you do charity work. We don't compromise.
On camera, I'm challenging you, Minister of Arts. Do something on this one. A pageant needs funding.
Exactly.
On your serious note.
And we know that there needs to be limitations. There needs to be a certain criteria. There's quite a number of pageants. You can't fund every pageant. But you need to create, just like you do with other fields.
Yes. There are projects that are getting
for whatever. Projects that are getting funded. You need to similarly create a feasible criteria for the pageantry industry to say, maybe for example, you can say we only fund pageants that are on a national level, something like that. But at least contribute something, because this is one of the industries that are making a difference in our country. But anyway, like I said, back to your question, it's the challenge that we are faced with. And so with that being the biggest challenge, the second challenge then therefore becomes, how do you make this possible? How do you make sure that this happens despite the fact that it is difficult to do?
Out of all those,
now you have to knock on doors. You have to. So my approach was that let me rather try and identify private sector organizations that offer product and services that are relevant towards what I want to achieve.
Yes.
When I established
Model and beauty related.
exactly, when I established this, I started it in Limpopo province, hosted the first two installments of it in Limpopo province. And at Protea Hotel the Ranch. And I approached them for sponsorship or partnership, because the number one thing you need is a venue. Before you can speak to anyone else, when you go and approach anyone else, the first thing they're going to ask you is, where are you doing this? So they were the first people that I approached to say, I have this idea, I have this concept that I want to run, and I would like to partner with you for you to become a sponsor, in terms of, providing us with the venue and catering and accommodation for the finalists and all of that. And then that was my approach with every other, potential sponsor that I approached. But the reality of it is, you have to have funds at the end of the day. Even if the ranch was to say, yes, we will give you the venue 100% free, which was definitely not the case. Even if coffee, for example, because they are still one of our strong standing sponsor to date.
Eat up coffee.
Exactly. Even if they were more than willing to come on board and say, you know what, when you're holding your meetings with the girls, when you're doing photo shoots with the girls, and whenever the girls are coming around, we will provide you with catering and all of that. To a certain extent, you need to get there. How do you get there? You need a mode of transportation. There's a lot of things that go behind exact. You need to make phone calls. You need to be able to adhere to all those meetings and everything.
And need fun.
So at the end of the day, you do need funding. So the approach was then having to end up giving the potential participants the responsibility of knocking on doors and ring spells. So now, not only are they participants, but they are also important role players in the whole thing. I always say to them, given the challenges that we are faced with in our country, you guys must just know that whenever you are participating in this, you are becoming a partner for as long as your journey still continues with this organization. So that's exactly, to date, those are the funds that we like.
Big up. Ladies and gents, don't forget that you are chilling here with me, Mrs. Refilwe Mogale, live from Tembizo Chisonyama Midrand. We are unpacking Miss Mogale's story. I've been touched. Government is most of us are, when we have challenges and so forth, we are running to the government. Yeah? And say, government, please bail us out on this one and this one and this one. But why are they not bailing out the borders? Why? We have so many beautiful people in South Africa where are partaking in our country, are taking place, are standing well in our countries, bringing home with medals, trophies, and so forth and so forth. But my problem with my government, I'm saying on record, my problem with my government is because when you won outside there, it's where they start making movies about your name. They can even organize everything. Yeah. They stop whatever they're doing in their department and go wait for you at the airport. By that day, but when we ask, where were you all the time throughout the
I can confidently say they are nowhere to be found, because they were nowhere to be found for work. They were nowhere to be found.
And I'm not happy about that. I'm not going to be happy about that until you do something. Department of Arts, Minister of Arts, our South African government. Yeah. This is our beautiful people. This is our women. They need our support. So if you don't support them, they're going to get support. So, ladies and gents, as we are still chilling with Miss Refilwe Mogale, live here on Chilling with Cutjolicious, and taking a story about Miss Bachelorette and so forth and so forth. So, the good thing about the private sectors is that they are supportive. I was there, I saw most of them, they will stay doing to support you.
Exactly.
So, where do you want to see Miss Bachelorette? Because I heard on your speech that day that you want to see Miss Bachelorette, not longer Miss Bachelorette South Africa, but Miss Bachelorette globally.
Definitely.
Do you have a nerve, no? Got a nerve. What do you want to see?
I've got a nerve to make sure that women are empowered. That I deliver
Through that.
So, baby steps, you know. In all honesty, the minute I came up with the concept and the idea of Miss Bachelorette, for me it was Miss Bachelorette Global. But then I thought to myself, obviously you need to start, let's start at home. You need to start, within country. So established it, like I said earlier, in 2018 and hosted the first one in 2019. This year we will be celebrating 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
But don't forget, without government sponsor funding, what that?
Yeah, so this year we're celebrating 5 years. This year we are hosting on the 20th of April at Gold Reef City. Tickets are already available, actually.
More than
tickets, yes.
Really?
Yes.
You're on progress now.
They're released, yes.
Ladies are busy.
Yeah, no, ladies are busy. We already have our final...
I want that story.
We already have our final 6 years. Yeah, so they will be participating. They will be competing for the coveted title of Miss Bachelorette South Africa 2024 on the 20th of April, like I said, at Gold Reef City. We're going big. We are going big. Like I said earlier, even the sky is not the limit. I am already having a few countries that I am communicating with that are showing so much interest in participating in Miss Bachelorette Global.
Mind you, it was only South Africa.
It was only South Africa.
9 provinces were participating.
Exactly. Each year, and that's what I love, and that's what humbles me the most. The fact that every year we would have more than 7 provinces participating. We would have ladies from more than 7 provinces across the country participating. So more than 7 countries will be well represented. That tells you how much people...
No, that tells you how much men are in short in South Africa. Because we are talking about unmarried women, unmarried ladies who are prepared and ready to get their this year coming to selection. Okay? Moving right along.
I wouldn't put it like that, to be honest.
Oh my God.
It better be off record. Because, that's exactly, like I said earlier, that is exactly the mindset that I'm trying to discourage, rather. And I don't want people to misquote me or misunderstand. Miss Bachelorette is not against marriage.
Yes.
Miss Bachelorette is saying, don't put your life on hold because you are waiting for someone to come and say we'll be married. Miss Bachelorette is saying, as a woman, your power, your passion, your purpose must be limitless. It must go beyond just wanting to find yourself as a Mrs. So-and-so. So I always say marriage will happen when it happens, if it happens. But for as long as it has not happened, you must just dream big. You must just continue living your life. As a matter of fact, you must not be waiting for it. It must happen if it happens and when it happens.
Back to...
So the most important thing, I just want to add this. I just want to finish this off. So the most important thing, or the most important message that Miss Bachelorette is pushing, is independence. Make sure that you are independent as a woman. Because when you are independent, should you find yourself in a marriage one day, in a relationship one day, and your partner decides to become abusive, it'll become a bit easier for you to remove yourself from that abusive relationship, to remove yourself from that abusive marriage, because you are not depending on this husband, this partner that has decided to become an abuser. Because you can imagine... Exactly, because you can imagine if the provider becomes for abuser, where do you go? You find yourself now having to sit there or still beg for that bread and have to endure being a victim of gender-based violence. And unfortunately, some have become victims of femicide all because they had to sit in abusive relationships because they had nowhere else to go. They had no options because they are not independent.
Going back to the global part of it, which I mean, up to so far, where do you want to see yourself as a Miss Bachelorette global?
Yeah.
And you think, I mean, the soil is fertile in South Africa before you can jump to other countries.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like, it definitely is. Like I said, I know that challenges will always be there and I am prepared for it. With or without the support that you may expect from wherever, this is going to happen.
From the government.
It is, from the government. This is definitely going to happen.
And you will say so. Yes.
This is definitely going to happen one way or the other. Like I'm saying, this is going to be in April now. This is going to be the 5th installment, right? So there's already a number of countries, about 7 countries or so, that I am in communication with. I'm in communication with, and they are very interested.
Like,
they are waiting. They are keen. They're like, you know what, we are there. Just tell us what needs to be done, and then we are on board. They can't wait to have their beings or their delegates, usually countries, flying down to South Africa for them to come and compete for the global title.
And the minute they join, it's where you're going to turn it from a special in South Africa to a special King.
Exactly. However, not necessarily turning out. It was a matter of adding on. Add on a special global. Exactly. Because you will, with special global, you will have delegates coming from different countries to come and compete for the special global. South Africa included. Then you will also have a Miss Bachelorette South Africa competing with other delegates from different countries for the global.
Which procedure are you taking in order to select this beautiful single lady?
So we open entries at the moment. Our marketing platform is mainly social media because it is one platform that is affordable at a stage that we are at and easily accessible. So that is our main platform in terms of marketing. Each year we open entries for ladies who obviously fit the criteria. They need to be between the ages of 25 and 50. Like I mentioned earlier, they not to be married. Whether they are kids, but they have, I was about to say that whether they have children or not, it does not matter. Their body structure, their body size, their height, all of that does not matter.
Tatazoint.
Tatazoint, because the purpose, I always say with Miss Bachelorette, we are not looking for models, but we are looking for role models. Yeah. So body structure is about women empowerment. So we empower women in general. We are not looking at it, body structure, your height, and all of that. So that is the criteria that one needs to meet. Entries come in from the entries, depending obviously on how many entries we get. And lately we've been getting hundreds of entries. Hundreds for entries across the country. Only South Africa, yes, in South Africa, because it's still with virtual in South Africa, all right? So after getting those entries, the judges have to sit down with the entries and their pictures and everything, go through it, because our entry system is in such a way that we try our best to make sure that we know you and we know about you as much as possible.
Are there open as usual?
No, definitely not, because although we are now young, remember we are now about to crown the 5th to this Bachelorette, which is now just around the corner. It's now.
When is this? Maybe if you can mention it on record?
On the 20th of April.
Oh, just around the corner.
It's around the corner. It's on the
there for
20th
sure
of
our
April.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be awesome. So it's on the 20th of April at Goldrip City at 6:30 in the evening. Like I said earlier, tickets are already available at Complete Ticket. So entries for 2024 are obviously closing because we already did the selection. We already have the top 16, and in about 2 months or so, they will be competing for the title. So we open entries, we get hundreds of those entries, then we select semi-finalists. We normally select 50 or 60 semi-finalists. Then they come for the judges to make them visit. And then from there, we select the 16 finalists. And then those are the ladies now that will then be competing on stage.
Are you happy about the process as you speak now?
I am partially happy. I am happy because we are getting participation from women across the country. I am not happy because I want to see Miss Bachelorette being promoted on television and radio. All the biggest marketing platforms you can think of. Because obviously, the bigger the data, the bigger it becomes, the more the wings are spread. And the more the wings are spread, the more we are able to empower even more women across the country. Because there are still a lot of women, quite honestly, who would be interested in this, but they don't know about it because we are limited, resources.
You're not even thinking of televising them.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. We want to go on television.
Then what
But we need fund for us to go.
I'm coming back again to your government. They need funding in order to make this project sustainable.
Yeah.
So, up to so far, you already tackled the issue of challenges, the process, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Where do you want to see up at the Miss Bachelorette South Africa 2024? Because already everything is in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Everything is paid.
Yeah.
We are going there. We are going to broadcast their live. So, how do you want to see it, Trot?
Oh, despite the challenge of, funding, I would love to get support from all media houses.
Okay.
I would love to see all television channels, or as many television channels, as many radio stations as possible, coming to the event to cover the event. Because, like I said, even though we don't have funding, but I believe there is a way that, one channel or one radio station could be willing to say, you know what, this is a worthy cause and we want to come on board as a partner, So that would be lovely. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see more. And I am not in any way taken away from the media houses that they might be supported. Because so far, yes, we have had, interviews with the reigning queens, and have been interviewed as founder and CEO on a number of television channels and some radio stations as well. So we just want the pool to grow even bigger. That's what I would love to see and inspire. Other than that, I also would like to see the tickets sold out.
Tickets sold out.
Packed, so everybody must run to the ticket and make sure that we get their ticket.
Okay, yeah, obvious.
Of course, most importantly, I would love to see the ladies, the finalists in their A game. I know at this stage they are ready. They can't wait to be on stage. And I pray to God that at the end of the day, the judges make sure that they select a lady that deserves the title, and a lady that is going to continue with the legacy of making sure that Miss Bachelorette makes a difference in the lives of women, of children, and the society.
As you are still talking about the ladies going to be crowned, last year, all past years, there were queens that crowned, that were crowned. Where are they now? What are they doing? Are they doing well in terms of their projects and so forth and so forth?
You know what? That is one thing that humbles me so much. Did you know? This is something very simple, but this is something that humbles me, and this is an indication of how committed these women still are to this project. Do you know that today, all our queens have their own WhatsApp group? Wow. From the 2019 queen, and that this was also achieved strategically on our side as myself as the founder and my team. When the next one gets crowned, we made sure that we involve the first one. When the third one gets crowned, we involve the second one, and the list goes on. So automatically, you are sort of creating a friendship and a partnership amongst these women. And they also learn from each other, because then obviously the first one will share her challenges, will share her experience, will share whatever tips that she has to make sure that the next one also is able to do the best during her year of reign. So the list goes on. Now, I am happy you are touching on the fact of projects, because we have a philanthropy division, a charity division of Miss Bachelorette South Africa, which is Miss Bachelorette Community Foundation. And from the very beginning, this is exactly what I mentioned earlier when, if you can remember, when I said that I am passionate about the modeling industry because if there is one thing that is compulsory, if I may put it that way, it's charity. When we give, even when one is crowned or even before they are crowned, as finalists, as semi-finalists, one of the most important duties and responsibilities that we give back is philanthropy or charity related. So we have in this Bachelorette Community Foundation, which is the philanthropy division of this Bachelorette South Africa. And that is where we make a difference in more ways than one. As I speak to you now, for example, out of the many projects that we are doing, as I speak to you now, we have 14 families that are based in Alexandria that we have partially adopted. By partially, exactly. By partially adopting, I mean we are trying to make sure that we carry them through on a longer term. Because I do not believe in temporary solutions. I do not believe in having a small project where you go and visit a scheme, for example. You go there, you give a girl child, for example, you give a girl child a pack or 2 packs of sanitary towels. That girl child is now able to go to school for the next 2 months because they have 2 packs. But then after those 2 packs are done, then what? So obviously we can't save the world, but with the little that we have, I've always been thinking I would rather partially adopt a smaller group of people, a smaller community, and see them through to the end, see them on the longest possible term. So that's what we are doing with those 14 families. We are making sure that each year, every family that's got a child, that child is well equipped when it comes to speaking with the family. We try and make sure that we secure the mentors to help them with their screenwork. When they reach a stage where they are about to get to retreat, we try and make sure that we help them in terms of the process of applications and also applications for bursaries so that they are able to further their studies. We try our best to make sure that we empower the heads of the families because our target, as you would expect, is female-headed families and child-headed families. So those females that are obviously unemployed, we try and help them identify something that they are able to do. For example, we have a lady that is a dressmaker. She, back in the day,